Welcome to Global Bible Reading. Reading from the English version for the deaf. The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 24. After Saul had chased the Philistines away, people told Saul, "David is in the desert area near En-Gedi." So Saul chased 3,000 men from all over Israel. Saul took these men and began looking for David and his men. They looked near wild goat rooks. Saul came to the sheep pens beside the road. There was a cave near there. Saul went into the cave to relieve himself. David and his men were hiding far back in the cave. The man said to David, "Today is the day the Lord talked about. The Lord told you, 'I will give your enemy to you. Then you can do anything you want with your enemy.'" Then David crawled closer to Saul. Then David cut off a corner of Saul's robe. Saul did not see David. Later, David felt bad about cutting off a corner of Saul's robe. David said to his men, "I hope the Lord stops me from doing anything like that to my master again. Saul is the Lord's chosen king. I should not do anything against Saul. He is the Lord's chosen king." David said these things to stop his men. David would not let his men hurt Saul. Saul fell the cave and went his way. David came out of the cave. David shouted to Saul, "My lord the king." Saul looked back. David bowed with his face to the ground. David said to Saul, "Why do you listen when people say, 'David plans to hurt you'? I don't want to hurt you. You can see that with your own eyes. The Lord let me have you today in the cave, but I refuse to kill you. I was merciful to you. I say I wouldn't hurt my master. Saul is the Lord's chosen king. Look at this piece of cloth in my hand. I cut off the corner of your robe. I could have killed you, but I did not. Now I want you to understand this. I want you to know that I am not planning anything against you. I did nothing wrong to you, but you are hunting me and trying to kill me. Let the Lord be the judge. The Lord might punish you for the wrong you did me, but I myself would not fight you. There is an old saying, "Bad things come from bad people." I haven't done anything bad. I am not a bad person. I wouldn't hurt you. Who are you chasing? Who is the king of Israel coming to fight against? You are not chasing someone who will hurt you. It is like you are chasing a dead dog or a flea. Let the Lord be the judge. Let him decide between you and me. The Lord will support me and show that I am right. The Lord will save me from you. David finished speaking, and Saul asked, "Is that your voice, David, my son?" Then Saul began to cry. Saul cried very much. Saul said, "You are right, and I am wrong. You have been good to me, but I have been bad to you. You told me about the good things you did. The Lord brought me to you, but you did not kill me. This shows I am not your enemy. A man doesn't catch his enemy and then just let him go. He doesn't do good things for his enemy. I hope the Lord rewards you for being good to me today. I know that you will become the new king. You will rule the kingdom of Israel. Now, make a promise to me. Use the Lord's name and promise that you will not kill my descendants. Promise me that you will not destroy my name from my father's family. So David made a promise to Saul. David promised that he would not kill Saul's family. Then Saul went back home. David and his men went up to the fort. Chapter 25. Samuel died, all the Israelites met together and showed their sadness about Samuel's death. They buried Samuel at his home in Ramah. Then David moved to the desert of Paran. There was a very rich man living in Maon. He had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats. That man was in Carmel, taking care of some business. He went there to cut the wool from his sheep. This man's name was Nabal. He was from Caleb's family. Nabal's wife was named Abigail. She was a wise and beautiful woman, but Nabal was a mean and cruel man. David was in the desert when he heard that Nabal was cutting the wool from his sheep. David sent 10 young men to talk to Nabal. David told them, "Go to Carmel, find Nabal and tell him, 'Hello' for me." David gave them this message for Nabal: "I hope you and your family are fine. I hope that everything you own is fine. I heard that you are cutting wool from your sheep. Your shepherds were with us for a while, and we did nothing wrong to them. We never took anything from your shepherds where they were at Carmel. Ask your servants, and they will tell you this is true. Please be kind to my young man. We come to you now at this happy time. Please give this young man anything you can. Please do this for me, your friend David." David's men went to Nabal. They gave David's message to Nabal, but Nabal was mean to them. Nabal said, "Who is David? Who is this son of Jesse? There are many slaves that have run away from their masters these days. I have bread and water, and I have the meat I killed for my servants who cut the wool from my sheep. But I wouldn't give them to men I don't even know." David's men went back and told David everything that Nabal said. Then David said to his men, "Put on your swords." So David and his men put on their swords. About 400 men went with David, and 200 men stayed with the supplies. One of Nabal's servants spoke to Nabal's wife Abigail. The servant said, "David sent messengers from the desert to meet our master Nabal." But Nabal was mean to David's messengers. "These men were very good to us. We were out in the fields with the sheep. David's men were with us the whole time, and they never did anything wrong to us. They did not steal anything from us the whole time. David's men protected us night and day. They were like a wall around us. They protected us while we were with them caring for the sheep. Now think about it and decide what you can do." Nabal was foolish to say the things he did. Terrible trouble is coming to our master Nabal and all his family. Abigail hurried and took 200 loaves and bread, 2 full wine bags, 5 cooked sheep, about a bushel, and cooked grain, about 2 quarts of raisins, and 200 cakes of pressed figs. She put them on donkeys. Then Abigail told her servants, "Go on, I will follow you." but she did not tell her husband. Abigail rode her donkey and came down to the other side of the mountain. She met David and his men coming from the other direction. Before David met Abigail, David was saying, I protected Nabal's property in the desert. I made sure none of his sheep were missing. I did all that for nothing. I did good things to him, but he has been bad to me. I hope God punishes me if I let even one man in Nabal's family live till tomorrow morning. Just then Abigail arrived. When Abigail saw David, she quickly got off her donkey. She bowed down with her face to the ground in front of David. Abigail sat at David's feet and said, Sir, please let me talk to you. Listen to what I say. Blame me for what happened. I did not see the man you sent. Sir, don't pay any attention to that worthless man, Nabal. He is the same as his name. His name means foolish. He really is foolish. The Lord has kept you from killing innocent people. Surely, as the Lord lives, and surely as you live, I hope your enemies and all the people who want to harm you become like Nabal. Now I am bringing this gift to you. Please give these things to your man. Please forgive me for doing wrong. I know the Lord will make your family strong. Many kings will come from your family. The Lord will do this because you fight his battles. People will never find anything bad about you as long as you live. If a person chases you to kill you, the Lord your God will save your life. But the Lord will throw away your enemies' lives like a stone from a sling. The Lord promised to you many good things for you, and the Lord will keep all his promises. God will make you leader over Israel, and you wouldn't be guilty of killing innocent people. You wouldn't fall into the trap. Please remember me when the Lord brings you success. David answered Abigail, Praise the Lord, the God of Israel. Praise God for sending you to meet me. God bless you for your good judgment. You kept me from killing innocent people today. Surely, as the Lord, the God of Israel, lives, if you haven't come quickly to meet me, then not one man in Nabal's family would have lived until tomorrow morning. Then David accepted Abigail's gift. David told her, Go home in peace. I have listened to your request, and I will do what you ask. Abigail went back to Nabal. Nabal was in the house. Nabal had been eating like a king. Nabal was drunk and feeling good. So Abigail told Nabal nothing until the next morning. The next morning Nabal was sober, so his wife told him everything. Nabal had a heart attack and become as stiff as a rock. About 10 days later, the Lord caused Nabal to die. David heard that Nabal was dead. David said, Praise the Lord. Nabal said bad things about me, but the Lord supported me. The Lord kept me from doing wrong, and the Lord caused Nabal to die because he did wrong. Then David sent a message to Abigail. David asked her to become his wife. David's servants went to Carmel and said to Abigail, David sent us to get you. David wants you to become his wife. Abigail bowed her face to the ground. She said, I am your women's servant. I am ready to serve you. I am ready to wash the feet of my masters, David's servants. Abigail quickly got on a donkey and went with David's messengers. Abigail brought 5 maids with her. She became David's wife. David had also married Abinom of Jezreel. Both Abinom and Abigail were David's wives. David was also married to Saul's daughter, Michal, but Saul had taken her away from him and had given her to a man named Palti, son of Laias. Palti was from the town named Galim. Chapter 26. The people of Ziph went to see Saul at Gibeah. They said to Saul, David is hiding on the hill of Hakilah. This hill is across from Jeshimon. Saul went down to the desert of Ziph. Saul took the 3,000 soldiers he had chosen from all over Israel. Saul and this man looked for David in the desert of Ziph. Saul set up his camp on the hill of Hakilah. The camp was beside the road across from Jeshimon. David was staying in the desert. David learned that Saul had followed him there. So David sent out spies. David learned that Saul had come to Hakilah. Then David went to the place where Saul had set up his camp. David saw where Saul and Abner were sleeping. Abner, son of Ner, was the commander of Saul's army. Saul was sleeping in the middle of the camp. The army was all around Saul. David talked to the Amalek the Hittite and Abishai, son of Zeruiah. Abishai was Joab's brother. He asked them, Who will go down into the camp with me to Saul? Abishai answered, I will go with you. Night came. David and Abishai went into Saul's camp. Saul was asleep in the middle of the camp. His spear was stuck in the ground near his head. Abner and the other soldiers were asleep around Saul. Abishai said to David, Today God has let you defeat your enemy. Let me pin Saul to the ground with his spear. I will only do it once. But David said to Abishai, Don't kill Saul. Any person who hurts the Lord's chosen king must be punished. Surely, as the Lord lives, the Lord himself will punish Saul. Maybe Saul will die naturally, or maybe Saul will kill in battle. But I pray that the Lord never lets me hurt the Lord's chosen king. Now pick up the spear and water jug by Saul's head, then let's go. So David took the spear and water jug that were near Saul's head. Then David and Abishai left Saul's camp. No one knew what had happened. No one saw it. No one even woke up. Saul and all of his soldiers slept because the Lord had put them into a deep sleep. David crossed over the other side of the valley. David stood on top of the mountain across the valley from Saul's camp. David and Saul's camp were far apart. David shouted to the army and to Abner, son of Ner, Answer me, Abner. Abner, answer. Who are you? Why are you calling the king? David said, You are a man, aren't you? And you are better than any other man in Israel. Is that right? Then why didn't you guard your master, the king? An ordinary man came into your camp to kill your master, the king. You made a big mistake. As sure as the Lord is alive, You and your men should die. Why? Because you did not protect your master, the Lord's chosen king. Look for the king's spear and the water jug that was near Saul's head. Where are they? Saul knew David's voice. Saul said, Is that your voice, David, my son? David answered, Yes, it is my voice, my master and king. David also said, Sir, why are you chasing me? What wrong have I done? What am I guilty of? My master and king, listen to me. If the Lord cause you to be angry at me, then let him accept an offering. But if man cause you to be angry at me, then let the Lord cause bad things to happen to them. Men have forced me to leave the land the Lord gave me. Men have told me, Go live with the foreigners. Go and serve other gods. Now, don't make me die far away from the Lord's presence. The king of Israel has come out looking for a flea. You are like a man hunting partridges in the mountains. Then Saul said, I have sinned. Come back, David, my son. Today you show me that my life is important to you, so I will not try to hurt you. I have acted foolishly. I have made a big mistake. David answered, Here is the king's spear. Let one of your young men come here and get it. The Lord pays every man for the things he does. He rewards him if he does right, and he punishes him if he does wrong. The Lord let me defeat you today, but I would not hurt the Lord's chosen king. Today I show you that your life is important to me. In the same way, the Lord will show that my life is important to him. The Lord will save me from every trouble. Then Saul said to David, God bless you, David my son. You will do great things and you will succeed. David went on his way and Saul went back home. Chapter 27. But David thought to himself, Saul will catch me someday. The best thing I can do is to escape from the land of the Philistines. Then Saul will give up looking for me in Israel. That way I will escape from Saul. So David and his 600 men left Israel. They went to Achish, son of Maoz. Achish was king of Gad. David, his men, and their families lived in Gad with Achish. David had his 2 wives with him. They were Abinoam of Jezreel and Abigail of Carmel. Abigail was the widow of Nabal. People told Saul that David had run away to Gad. So Saul stopped looking for him. David said to Achish, If you are pleased with me, then give me a place in one of the country towns. I am only your servant. I should live there, not here with you in this royal city. That day Achish gave David the town of Ziklag, and Ziklag was belonged to the kings of Judah ever since. David lived with the Philistines 1 year and 4 months. David and his men went to fight the Amalekites and Zuzrites, who lived in the area from Telem near Sur all the way to Egypt. David's men defeated them and took their wealth. David defeated the people in the area. David took all their sheep, cattle, donkeys, camels, and clothes, and brought them back to Achish. But David did not let any of those people leave. David did this many times. Each time Achish asked David where he fought and took those things, David said, I fought against the southern part of Judah, or I fought against the southern part of Jerahmeel, or I fought against the southern part of the Kenizzites. David never brought a man or woman alive to God. David thought, if I let any person live, that person might tell Achish what I really did. David did this all the time he lived in the Philistine land. Achish began to trust David. Achish said to himself, now David's own people hate him. The Israelites hate David very much. Now David will serve me forever.